Okay, there we go. There I am. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you can hear me okay. Thank you all for being here. I feel like this is like too high up. There we go. That's gonna be better. That's more at the angle of my voice. All right. All right. What's going on here? All right, says we're good. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for waiting. Hello, Robert. Hello, Candlemaker. Hello, Purple Orchid. Hello, Marie. Hello, Harvest the Nug. Wait, is that a Dragon Age reference, or is that just a weed reference, or both, or neither? Hi, Phil's Violet. Hi, James. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Maya. Hi, everyone. Hi, Lars. Hi, Kitchen Little. What's searing tonight, girl? Wait, is that a phrase, or is it supposed to be wearing? What am I wearing? Hi, Andrew. Hi, Joseph. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Piper. Hi, Ron. Hi, Tara. Hi, George Cook. Hello, Jonathan. Samantha. So, before we get started, because I know some of y'all were in my Patreon stream last night, you're literally not going to believe this. So, I'm streaming last night. I think it's a little bit before 9. My time is like at 8:45, 8:50, somewhere in there. And the power goes out in my apartment. Just suddenly, no lights flickering beforehand, no warning, no wind, no storms, no rain, no nothing. Suddenly, the power in my whole apartment goes out. I lose cell service. As far as I can tell, the whole block also lost power. I think it wasn't like a citywide outage or anything like that. It was like, kind of a smaller cluster, it seems like, or like a couple of smaller clusters of places. And so I just didn't have power last night. It was like, nope, you're gonna be in total darkness at 9 p.m. in your house. Good times. So that's where I went. I got power back this morning. But that's where I went. If you guys were like, what happened to the live stream last night? The universe decided that my life wasn't going to involve having electricity for a little while. I am a Dragon Age fan. I didn't make the lights in the background, but I did set this up, if that's what you mean. That is my setup. So today, let's start with the outfit. Oh my god, I have dogs all around me. I'm watching somebody else's dog right now, and my dog Bandit is in her bed, and then she's on the pillow I just dropped on the floor. Not gonna get that back now. So we are getting ready for a party, and I found this really cute, amazing leather dress. It is, I can't show you guys the tag, but it's Northbound Leather, which is a Canadian leather company. Can you guys hear me okay while I'm talking like this? So, Canadian leather company, Northbound Leather, the only place I know of that in modern day still makes women's leather fetish clothing. So they make, before there was Stormy Leather, and there was Mr. S had a Mrs. S line, but they discontinued it a couple of years ago. And so I got this, it's vintage. They don't even make this design anymore on their own website. This is from, like, I think the 90s or maybe the early 2000s. Got it on Etsy, I think, from a vintage seller on Etsy. Complete steal. I just got it back from the tailors because there was a problem with the zipper in the back. And I don't have a bra that perfectly matches this cross, but I'm going to wear a leather jacket, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, this leather zipper had to be repaired, and I needed to get it taken a little bit, but it fits, like, so good. Is this like if I could design a leather dress for myself, it would basically be this. Like, this would be what it is. So, I don't know how to show you guys the whole dress, so I'll just, like, can I Captain Morgan it? Is that what I'm gonna do? I don't know. I can't, like, tilt the thing my camera's on can't tilt up and down, and so I can't, like, do it that way. But anyways, it's like princess seams, like, flare dress. I don't know. Obviously, we have to have the fishnets, and I just feel really good in this, really amazing. And I've worn a lot of different outfits to BDSM parties, and I'm going to a BDSM party tonight because I know someone that is getting into the kink community. It's the second person I'm taking into a BDSM dungeon for the first time. And they're brand new to the community, and I'm kind of going as, like, moral support. I'm not really planning on doing any play or scenes or anything like that. I'm going to just, like, help facilitate and watch and just block all the people that seem like bad news. So I'm not going to wear anything that is easy to take off. I'd have to shimmy out of this, I think, with the zipper in the back and the straps. But anyways, I love this dress. My hair's not even done yet. This is just like, I do like a little Edwardian style bun in my hair, which is just with a hair clip basically, when I don't want to have my hair on my neck. We're gonna actually, keeping with the vintage 90s of this dress, we are gonna crimp our hair today, which is a look I love to do for parties, but I don't do it on YouTube. Like, I pretty much only ever do my hair straightened down for YouTube because it's just like easier, and I don't know what to do about my bangs when I crimp my hair, so I'm going to need input from you guys on what to do with my hair. You are not late. We've only been live for like 5 or 6 minutes, so don't worry. So, I do have a matching face mask. Oh, thank you. I'm cute without makeup. I'm growing to like my face without makeup. I used to hate it when I was younger, but now that I have my skin more under control and I've fixed my eyebrows, I don't hate it as much. So I'm taking my own advice from the last time I went to a party. I definitely had enough food, and I was fine in all the other respects. I was really dehydrated, which is like, that's my New Year's resolution for this year. Like, number one, I need to like not be super dehydrated all the time, because I'm really dehydrated like almost every single day. I just don't drink enough water. I ate my actual like dinner at like 3:34-ish. So sort of my advice for getting ready for a party. This party starts at 8. I'm planning to get there maybe 15 minutes past or so. And I advise like eating a good meal like a couple hours before the event. I know some people like to go out for dinner like right beforehand, but I prefer to have time to digest and everything before going into a kink scenario. So I ate a couple hours before, been drinking water. Definitely want to make sure you are hydrated. My favorite dungeon is going to do an event after like 3 years of pausing. Yeah, that's what happened with me as well. This is the 3rd event that they've, like a 3rd actual, well, actually no. It's the 3rd I've been to, the 4th one they've hosted. It's like an actual full party since the panini, as it were. So, I remembered you had your eyebrows microbladed, what did I just say? Microbladed a while ago. How are you feeling about them after they've healed? So, I might at some point do a video about my eyebrow experience, because I love having my eyebrows microbladed. I basically got the next shade before just pure black, and I like the artist I went to, and she was traveling between Seattle and San Diego. And I got them done last May. Actually, I can't believe it's been that long. It was May when I got them done. And I got them in like May 31st or something. And normally when you do microblading, you do a first session, and then you go back and do a second session because of how shallow the tattoo basically is in your face. You get it redone again in 6 to 8 weeks. And she told me, oh, I'm going to be back in July. You know, we can do a touch-up then. And, she, I had every reason to believe she would do that because she had traveled back and forth already like 4 times. And then she said, oh, I'm having trouble getting a ticket, so I'll be back in August. And then she still hasn't been back, and it's December. So I never got a second pass over my eyebrows, like what I was supposed to get done. So I have like little patches, like I have, because when you get your eyebrows microbladed, basically little scabs form, and you're not supposed to rub them off or anything, but sometimes they do anyways, just like before the tattoo ink is fully set. And I had a little piece come off like here and more on like this eyebrow. And so I have little patchy bits that I notice every single time I film, but I don't like the look anymore of having my eyebrows like really super done in with pencil. So I think if I do my eyebrows more in the future, I'll probably do like a black, like brow mascara or something, just to make them a little bit darker in videos, because in real life they look fine, but I notice on film sometimes they look more brown than they really are. I don't know. But no, the person I went to, and I genuinely really liked them. Like, we literally just like sat down and we had a conversation about like BDSM and like shitty boyfriends. But like, if she's never gonna come back to Seattle, like I'm never gonna get my eyebrows finished. So what are you doing, girl? I think it's baby doll brows on on Instagram. Oh, Danny's who it is. Danny's who it is. Here, I'll show you guys. I really liked her work. Sorry, I know I have like smudges on my phone. My phone is so old. I have no room on this phone because it's filled with pictures of Bandit. I'm not kidding you. I don't have like any apps on here. I have 90% of my phone is pictures of Bandit. So I need a new phone because I'm out of storage room because I have a Google Fi phone. And they used to offer phones that had really small storage amounts. And so to save like $100, I got the smallest storage amount possible. And now it's biting me in the butt 4 years later. And I need to get a new phone. That's like, I need a new phone, I need a new computer, or new video camera for YouTube. So that's on my Christmas savings list. Anyways, I found another couple artists that are in the area that I might go and get a touch-up done from, just because I like really want to have my eyebrows actually done. It's like going to a tattoo artist and getting the outline done by one artist, and then they just like nope out of town, and then you never get the actual like color filled in. Like, it's so strange. I mean, I would love to visit San Diego. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if it was in the cards for me to visit San Diego and go to California, like, I would do it. I just said I need a new camera for YouTube, and that's more than the cost of a hotel ticket and flights to go to San Diego. Although I think I could probably get cheap tickets if I waited till after the holidays. So maybe if I looked in that January, February weekend, I don't know. Anyways, I've been rambling for a while. I just got mine done for the third time over the journey. I'm in love with them. Oh, I'm glad you like them. I really like them so far. I just wish they're like half done, and I don't think people realize that they're only half done. But that's how it is. Anyways, wow, thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to stop rambling about my eyebrows right now, and we're going to start doing some makeup. So the way that I actually do makeup for parties is different than the way, and hopefully my, oh, that's not the right way. This mirror freaked Bandit out last night, by the way. I had this on my nightstand because it's battery operated, because it needed a night light that wasn't a candle that I could have on in the darkness. And when Bandit saw this in the morning, this side that has like the really like super detailed mirror on it that's like times 50 zoom, see all your pores, this freaked Bandit out so bad. She's like, what is that? So we put it on the floor, and I talked to her about it, and I was like, it's just a mirror, don't worry, honey. And she smelled it, and she was fine with it after that. But it was really cute / sad earlier. I am going to a BDSM party. I know it is my stream, but I want to start getting under my makeup so I can ramble about makeup and then ramble about other things. I hope she tells us the theme of the party she's going to. That was the intention behind the question. Oh, yeah. So, oh, I didn't grab my face primer. So, the intention of the party I'm going to is it's a newbie night. I went to the same party, not obviously the same one's happening now, but like the same type of party you went to like a month and a half ago with a different person. Going with another new person this time to introduce them to the community and hopefully help them have a good time. I'm not really going to play myself necessarily. I'm more going for like moral support and to like be like, get away, bad people. I know you are fake dumb. Like, I'm here to be the human shield, basically, is what I'm doing. I know. Oh, well, it's like, I think when you have easier opportunities to go to parties, it's easier to say no. Like, I'm really going because I want this new person to feel like happy and secure, because they've had a lot of like, I don't want to share this person's story, but they've had a lot of previous negative experiences with kink involving consent issues and like stuff from their childhood as well. And so over the course of the last couple years of knowing me, they've kind of gotten comfortable with the idea of potentially doing kink, and that maybe being a good way for them, as like, they're also autistic, by the way. And so having conversations with me about like the importance of like really explicit upfront negotiations and consent when it comes to like sex in BDSM and sex in the BDSM community, because my impression of them at least is they're not really interested in like super hardcore BDSM stuff. They're really going for like sex with maybe some kink added to it, but taking advantage of the like really explicit negotiations and conversations and not having the ambiguity and inference that goes into so many vanilla conversations about sex and consent. And so anyways, that's that's what I think about. Yeah, Vancouver used to have places. There used to be. Oh, there was something in Victoria, wasn't there? Because I'm not that far away from Vancouver. Um, Vancouver, I know, has a really big latex weekend in the summer. And I know there's a really big rope dojo there, but I don't know about like venues. Well, no, I'm not saying that like. So let me back up a little bit. They're autistic. They have not had negative experiences because of their autism within BDSM. They've had negative experiences because of vanilla poly interactions mostly. And so hopefully taking advantage of like helping me helping helping them find somebody that knows about good negotiations and explicit conversations before play, because that is the standard in BDSM, is like having those explicit, what do you want, how do you want to feel, like, is this just for a scene, are we looking to date, is this romantic, is it just sexual, is it just because it feels good, like those types of explicit conversations are things that are not talked about in vanilla interactions, like pretty much ever. But obviously anywhere you go in the world as a neurodivergent person, like you are like going to have to interface with people that do not understand and don't know how to, like, I don't know, not be ableist basically. Anyways, sorry, I'm gonna grab my face primer real quick and I will be right back. I know I'm moving. It's very exciting. Hi, little puppies. I know it's my makeup. Hi. Anyways, gotta talk to the dogs. They are definitely not considered a vulnerable adult. They are a very high-ranking person in a company. How do I be vague about this? They're a very high-ranking person in a large company that makes technological products, let's say. So they are considering the not that this necessarily means anything, but they are not. Remember, autism and neurodivergence is a spectrum of experiences, and I'm not talking about maybe the sorts of behavior that you think for some reason all autistic people have. Anyways, so the primer I'm putting on my face right now, and then not being able to blend in very well, is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I can't tell you if I like it or I don't like it or not. I just am using it because I have it, and this is a mini size that I literally bought last year. I think on sale at Sephora after the holidays. If you want to try this out, you should get it on sale, because I'm literally not, I've technically hit pan on it, but this would literally last me forever. I pretty much just put it wherever I want more coverage, and then in like the center of my forehead and where things tend to rub off, basically here and here and here, but not in like, not here, basically. High-ranking person in a company for technological products. Iron Man. Yes, I am taking Iron Man to his first BDSM convention. Not convention. That would be funny. BDSM party. Absolutely. That is exactly what I'm doing. You figured it out. Oh yeah, I have snow going. Do you guys like it? I turned off the Christmas music because I feel like, one, it didn't go with this, and literally I didn't have problems with this last year, but for some reason the track that I used, I got 5 different copyright claims for that live stream because of the copyright-free music I used. I was like, motherfuckers, I did this last year and it was fine. What's wrong? So the foundation I'm using is the Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator, which is basically a medium coverage tinted moisturizer foundation. I'm not doing anything too heavy. This is what I normally use to film videos, actually. But I am going to be wearing a mask. They do allow you to take off the mask if you are doing, like, an intimate one-on-one scene where you're like staying within basically 2 feet of each other the whole time. So there's a possibility my mask could come off at some point, but I'm not planning on it. People that tell me I'm too smart to be neurodivergent make me stabby. Hardcore, same though. Like that is just people, I don't understand. This is like my least favorite thing about like people that don't know anything about, well, there's a lot of least favorite things, but one of my least favorite things about people that don't know about neurodivergence just assume that like everybody that has some sort of neurodivergence is like stupid or you know, is somebody that's going to need help living a normal life for the rest of their lives, as opposed to being able to be like independent adults that just have brains that function slightly differently than the average of the population, you know? Like, come on. It's 2021. Let's move on, shall we? I don't really know what I'm doing. I actually need to replace this brush. You can see the bristles are like coming off of this, like, hardcore. I've had this for 5 years. So the fact it's lasted this long is actually impressive. But I think I got water in the bristles last time I washed it, and the glue was not happy about that situation. I'm supposed to be visiting a guy I am seeing over New Year's Eve, okay? I know he's going to want to have sex, but I don't want to have sex with him until I know we're exclusive. How do I handle this? Well, Marian, I will say that your boundary over wanting to wait until you know if you're exclusive or not to have sex is perfectly reasonable, perfectly normal. I think you are well within your rights to have that expectation prior to having sex. So, rather than making a mystery out of it and potentially causing vast disappointment all around, I would, before you go see this individual, I would say, hey, so I want to check in on what our plans are for New Year's Eve and seeing each other. I have the impression that you will be looking for sex on New Year's Eve, and I might be open to that, but before we make any plans, I want to, I don't know how I would phrase it exactly. I want to, I feel like I have to like sit and think about how to phrase this a little bit, because what you don't want to do is sometimes you have to be like careful to not put all of your cards on the table at once, because then somebody will be like, oh yeah, sure, I'm totally doing that, to get you to say yes if they're like a sneaky, shady individual. Not that you should be having sex with people that are sneaky and shady individuals that give you that impression in the first place, but as a general rule, you don't want to, if people might lie to you, have a reason to lie to you, you don't want to tell them, this is the answer I'm looking for. Will you tell me this is what you are going to do? Like, I want to know whether or not the intention of our relationship is exclusive. Or I think another way of thinking about this is to think, why do you want the relationship to be exclusive, and how does that impact your decision around having sex or not? Is it because you need a monogamous relationship and that is what helps you feel safe and happy and comfortable? Or is it related to like STI risk? Is it related to a choice to use a condom or not? Or birth control concerns? Or what, being uncomfortable sharing bodily fluids with different human beings you're not personally having sex with? Like, there are lots of reasons for why you might want to know if you're exclusive or not. And so if the desire to be exclusive is linked to like, I want to not have any unexpected happenings with STI risk, then that becomes a conversation where you also need to focus on like, hey, have you had an STI test recently? Can I see the results? Like, do not just take it for people's word. It's like, oh yeah, I'm tested, I'm clean. First of all, a lot of people don't get tested regularly, even when they are promiscuous. And they are asymptomatic, and so they don't think they have anything, so they don't get tested again, and then they've been asymptomatically spreading chlamydia to like every person they've been having sex with regularly, you know, because they're like, oh, well, I'm clean, we don't have to use a condom because condoms make it feel worse. Listen, as an asexual, I don't know why people put up with this bullshit, TBH. It doesn't seem worth it. It's a lot of stuff for mechanically putting a genital next to or inside of a different genital for no more than 9 minutes. It just seems like a lot. It just seems like a lot. Anyways, my blush looks crazy, but that's fine. That's how we do it around here. I like doing my blush up towards my eyes because that's who I am. And then usually I go in too far, so then I take my little brush and I do a little of this, and then it don't look so crazy anymore. Hopefully that is the effect. And it always looks really strong, but then I know with this product, so I'm using the Ritual de Feel Inner Glow Cream Pigment in Intuition and Nymph. These are expensive, but I like them and they last forever, except for the containers end up breaking. Like half of the ones I own look like this now, where it doesn't actually like clamshell together anymore. As an allosexual, don't put up with condomless sex. I mean, it's very good you have that boundary and you know it's your boundary, Amber. Okay, I'm trying to find how descriptive can we go if we have questions. As descriptive as you feel comfortable having on the internet. I have seen and heard everything. People send me detailed rape fantasies on a semi-regular basis to my various inboxes. So nothing you can say to me or ask me about would in any way shock me. I literally listened to a podcast the other day that had two podcasts. This is the two podcasts the other day that are hosted by normal, non-kinky people that are like talking about just random, everyday topics. And literally they were talking about the ethics of having sex with dolphins. And I'm like, oh my God, how did these two different podcasts filmed weeks apart from each other, do not overlap in any way with anyone else that I'm aware of. And they both had conversations about having sex with dolphins and how because dolphins are sentient, then of all the animals, they're probably the most ethical to have sex with. And I'm like, why are we even having this conversation right now? This is what? What is happening? So, that was on my plate for today. Anyways, now YouTube's gonna demonetize my channel because I brought that up. And if you guys can guess what podcast those are from, you will win a prize. You win a prize. I don't listen to that many podcasts, so it shouldn't be that hard to guess if you know who I follow on Twitter. Although, I will say, I think one of the people on those podcasts may be kinky, but they don't talk about BDSM in their podcast episodes. Although they definitely strike me as somebody that's like 100% a relationship anarchist, even if they don't use that label. H3, yes, definitely. If nobody guesses the second podcast, I will say what it is in like 5 minutes. Hi, Evie. Like I said before, I have only had one partner for a while, and I have recently come out as bisexual to him. I don't think he knows how to take it, and I've also explained I want more. Okay, is that the last bit of the question? Or is that the first part? I just want to make sure I don't, there wasn't a period at the end, so I'm not confident that was a complete thought. So let me know. Wow, literally everybody that is mentioning the word, yeah, go for it. Nokonova, if you want to type it out, go for it. I will keep an eye for you in the chat while I wait for my setting spray to dry. How about that? Does this do anything? We don't know. Science hasn't proven it yet. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Sets primer, water, whatever this is. No, just setting spray. There's a one that's called a primer water that I've used before. Blending out my neck because, yes, this is my actual skin tone. Did you notice that I didn't even mix anything with this? This is just my skin. I do have a white foundation mixer for days where I feel like I want to look extra goth, or it's like been winter for 3 months and I am a shade lighter than this. But for the time being, it is my actual skin tone. Oh, we haven't had a chatbot yet. So, Let's get rid of that, shall we? All right, fun times. Wouldn't be a stream without a bot, huh? How much does it cost to do your makeup each day? It seems like it's expensive. Not really. I mean, most of these products last for a really long time. So, like, you know, this I think was like $28. This was like I think I got it on sale for like $25. But I've had these for like almost 3 years, maybe like 2, and I've had this for like 6 or 8 months, and it's still almost full, so it'll probably last me until it expires. It actually doesn't cost me that much on a it probably cost me, I don't know, like 50 cents a day, because usually stuff expires before I run out of it. But I also don't do my makeup every day. I only do makeup usually for like filming and going out. I like not having to scrub my skin every day to get stuff off. Evie, thank you for your consideration. Your channel, stay fantastic. Be safe. Thank you so much, Ticket Black. Oh, did I miss a super chat earlier? I'm so sorry. I remembered I saw one. I saw, oh, I should read that, and then I missed it. Where can I see my Oh, how can I see? Wait, it says viewer activity. Something went wrong. Okay, so literally won't let me check the chat room. I'll have to scroll up and find who donated again. How do you deal with being unsatisfied during sex? Great question. So the way that you deal with this is communication. If you are unsatisfied, that will not change until you talk to your partner about it. And that could be you are not orgasming at all, or you don't like the kind of sex you're having, or you wish you could do BDSM, but you're not. Whatever it is, the only way it's going to be solved, no matter what it is talking to your partner about it. And that feels really vulnerable and really scary. And you can go about it in a nice way. Because you can say, as a bad example, you can be like, I hate the sex we've been having. I'm not happy with you at all. I don't even think we should have sex anymore. Or you can be like, hey, I've been really thinking about the way that we've had sex recently, and I've been thinking about some ways that maybe we could make it even better. And that's like a much more positive framing, because it's not that it's awful now and needs to change. It's like, oh, we can make it even better than it is now. And you're not making the person stew and like feeling like you're unsatisfied because of them, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like, if you're unsatisfied about something, you have to speak up about it, or no one's going to know to change anything. So continuing on from the Noka Nova question. Let me make sure I've got the whole thing here. I don't think he knows how to take it, and I've also explained I wanted more sexually. I have mentioned about adding a female to our routine, and he was okay with it, but doesn't necessarily want the female and I to interact. It's just a little frustrating because I want to express myself and my sexuality, but I can't. Yeah, so YouTube definitely automatically blocks certain words, so I have to like allow messages through. So if you have seen that your comments haven't gone through, that is probably why. My boyfriend and I communicate, but he's very one-sided. It sounds like it. Okay, so let me think. Yeah, throw the whole man. Where's the whole man disposal service? Where can we get that? Okay, so I think what you're experiencing is a fairly common problem, which is bisexual person discovers their bisexuality. They've only had one relationship with one gender, and it's a monogamous relationship. They don't really have any outside of experience. And what do you do? Like, I don't think that based on what you've said and what he's saying, that he really understands how bisexuality works, because bisexuality is usually not fulfilled by your boyfriend having sex with another woman and you never interacting with her. That is actually extremely heterosexual. If we're going off of that definition, that's just, he wants to have, you know, he's only comfortable if he gets to have sex with other people and you don't. Which I'm laughing, not at you. I'm laughing because it is insane how common this conclusion is amongst people, where they're like, well, I'm okay with adding a third, but only if you don't interact with them. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, honestly, like the real fucking like conclusion is hire a sex worker, because the problem is with a lack of relationship experience and your partner being possessive or jealous or what have you. Oh shoot, I just remembered there was a new product I got that I wanted to try for this look today, and I have to go find it. Okay. I have to go find that. I'm going to finish answering this question, and then I'm going to go get the eye thing that I got that I want to try. So, this is like the least ideal situation, like other than like we're opening up the relationship, because if we don't, we're going to break up, which this is borderline getting to. This is a really bad scenario to try and open up a relationship with, because it doesn't sound like he really knows about how to handle bisexuality. And especially like if you are thinking about it, like we just want to add in a third person to have sex with, you're really not going to have success finding someone like that, because almost everyone that would be interested in it has been burned horribly by being in very similar relationship scenarios, where the third person coming into a scenario like this, usually, you know, sort of a first out, or no, that bonus dog is barking right now, by the way, if you're wondering what that is. It's, what's the phrase? It's like, it's a like an employment phrase. Last in, first out, basically. Like if you're the third person coming into another party's relationship just to have sex, like as soon as those relationship problems start to rear their head, like that third person gets kicked out to the curb. And like emotionally, that's not stable. Most people don't want to have entirely detached sex with another couple that is having relationship issues that they are somehow going to end up being involved in, most likely, and have to troubleshoot for them. Especially when you're dealing with like also trying to discover what it's even like to have sex with somebody of the same gender when you've never done that before. Like there's a lot of complicated factors. So I really think honestly is just like if you want somebody to fulfill that role for you, the only way to do it realistically without like hurting somebody else is to hire a sex worker. And people don't consider that an option, but they should, because otherwise you are having to recruit somebody from a dating app usually, convince them to want to be a third wheel in a couple just for sexual reasons, and then just eventually leave, either because of relationship issues blowing up or because the couple is satisfied, and that's pretty much it. We've been on the precipice of breaking up so many times because of our conversations about sex. Well, that definitely doesn't sound like a positive situation to be in, and I'm sorry to hear that. Like it's really tough, and especially navigating bisexuality in a monogamous relationship is really difficult, and you can totally do it. Like it's obviously there are lots of monogamous bisexual people, but oftentimes they get the chance to at least explore romantically with the various genders they're attracted to before having to permanently settle on one person who expects complete monogamy from that point forward. So yeah, let me know if that like helps so far. I just feel like you have to have a conversation where you have to like sit him down and like outline like, this is what being bisexual like means to me. This is what I want. I'm not going to be satisfied with you having sex with another woman that I never interact with and her just being around. Like you have to really lay down what it is, and if he can accept that, like he can accept it, and it's not worth wasting time on somebody that literally cannot accept your sexual identity and give you permission to explore that, which they don't have to. They're allowed to have that as a boundary, but that means that you have some kind of compatibility issue. It doesn't mean that you can't be friends. It doesn't mean you can't see each other again, but you have to seriously consider like what's more important to you. Navigating your sexual orientation and getting to explore different options, or maintaining this particular monogamous relationship, or alternatively going through couples therapy, paying $200 a week for a couple months to be able to navigate around this, and then decide whether or not you want to continue the relationship. Because sometimes, though I think couples therapy is very stigmatized, sometimes you do need an outside person's help, especially a person that is experienced with LGBT plus issues, to help you navigate around these issues and like decide like why is he uncomfortable with it? How could he become comfortable, if ever anything? Is it just because it seems new? Is it because he's worried about being replaced? Like there are scenarios where this eventually ends up working, but it involves a lot of legwork beforehand, you know? Hi, Evie was at the party last week. I wanted to come say hi, but I was worried about being awkward. I definitely saw people that I thought I knew from the internet at that party. But in the future, if you want to come say hello, that's perfectly fine. Like, if I'm volunteering, if I'm just there to hang out and have fun and do bondagey things, like, totally come say hi. The only thing that you shouldn't do is come up to me while I'm in the middle of a scene. That's the only thing I don't want to have happen, basically. Can you make a vid or list of ace kink educators? It would be 3 people, so I don't know if I could do a video about it. Okay. So thank you so much for being here, guys. Keep putting in the questions. If you guys want to make sure I answer your question, that is what super chats are for. I both have super chats on YouTube, and then down below, I also have Streamlabs, which is what allows us to contribute to this goal right here. YouTube does take 30% of all super chats, so usually Streamlabs is a better option if you want to make sure your money isn't just going to Google and a giant corporation. Anyways, that being said, I am going to go off screen for a couple minutes while I try to find this eye product that I got in the mail. But I'll be right back and keep putting your questions in the chat, okay? I know, girl. What do you know, puppies? Are you going to help me find the thing? Okay, what's happening? All right, that was easy. I'm back. Hi, everyone. It was on exactly where I thought it was, so yay, yeehaw. Okay, so this is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, another indie brand. As you can see, we love supporting the indie brands around here. And this is a black eyeshadow primer. And this is what it looks like. I have tried this once before, and I have a brush that they made specifically to use with this, I think. Let me see where it is. I think this is it. We're going to see how it goes. Also, hello. Welcome. We love all the new people in the chat. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. So what is a dungeon party? Do y'all have drinks and snacks first to break the ice or what? So that's a great question, AP. It totally depends on the party because not every dungeon party is for the same purpose. Sometimes, like the one I'm going to tonight, is like a newbie night and is literally for new people in the community to meet each other and kind of socialize more so than play. And so there's an orientation beforehand that you're required to go to if you've never been before that tells you about the rules of the dungeon, what is acceptable behavior and what is not, and how to talk to people, how to say no, how to negotiate, what sort of play is allowed, what's not, all of that good stuff. That's in the orientation. And then afterwards, at the start of the party, there is usually some social activities that are facilitated by the dungeon. Like there's usually just regular standard party games with like a kinky spin on it. So for example, there was like kinky spin the bottle, where instead of doing truth or dare, right, you could choose to do like a kinky thing with someone using like an implement that was in the circle. So there was like paddles and kind of silly little light BDSM toys, but you were allowed to say no at any time. So if you didn't want to do something with somebody, you didn't have to. But the idea was it gave you like a chance to like explore a sensation with people you maybe normally wouldn't interact with. They do have like food and drinks and stuff and like a social area. And then there's a separate area where actual BDSM play happens. Okay. I am okay with kind of doing a messy look, so I'm going to stop trying to correct this, I think. I feel like this gave really good coverage. I'm not really happy about this inside corner, but it's a side that's going to be covered by a bang anyways, so I don't know. There we go. There's the base. There's what we're working with to start with. Hi Evie, I'm new in the chat. Oh, by the way, for the new people here, there is an FAQ down below. If you guys want to check that out, I do have links and like sort of short summaries for commonly asked questions like, what is BDSM? How do I tell my girlfriend I want to do BDSM? So if you want like a quick answer to those questions, a lot of them are down below if you haven't like checked those out before. FYI. I'm new into BDSM, but I don't live in an area where there are meetups and parties. How can I meet new kinky people? Any suggestions? So, number one is I do have a lot of videos on my channel where I talk about how to meet and find kinky people, both online, in real life. But the actual answer, kind of regardless, is there is a website that's called FetLife. It is basically Facebook for BDSM. It's not perfect by any means, but it is like the website. It's the only website we've got really besides Twitter, kind of. And you go in there and you look in your area. That is basically where the vast, assuming you're in the US anyways, the vast majority of kink events are available. And even if you're in other places, I know like Netherlands, Germany, Canada, all also use FetLife, at least for some events as well. So, FetLife is going to be your gateway to finding events locally. I obviously do not know all local events everywhere in the US. So, if you ask me, what dungeons are there in Orlando? What dungeons are there in Milwaukee? I'm not going to know. But FetLife will have the answers. There's also the, it's the mall directory. It's like, if you look up even just BDSM dungeon in my area or BDSM munch in my area, which is like a casual meetup for kinky people in a vanilla setting at a restaurant, just to like hang out and chat and not actually do any BDSM. If you can go to one of those too, those will usually direct you to like where actual play spaces are as well. Okay, so I think I like this. I think I've decided I like this. I think I just need to know how to control the product better, but we are going full raccoon eyes. So I think with the brush, I did it with fingers before when I first tried it, and I feel like the brush works out like way better. I'm going to my first ever munch next week. I know you just made a video about events, but I wanted to ask you about, as an introvert, how I should go about approaching a community where everyone knows each other besides me and my partner. It's an off month for the groups. There's no theme. It's just a social, etc. So it'll probably be some of the only new people. So great question, Finley. I do have an old video I've done, if you haven't seen it, where I do talk about like tips for like introverts and shy people for entering into the BDSM community, because believe it or not, even though I am literally live streaming putting on makeup right now, I am an introvert. BDSM is one of the few spaces where I don't feel super introverted all the time. It sort of allows me to get out of my shell because I feel really comfortable in those spaces. I don't feel judged in those spaces at all. So I have that, but basically what I would do is, one, if you haven't before, I would really advise talking to the party organizers or the event organizers, because it's much, before you actually go, and let them know, hey, you know, we're new. This is going to be a first time going to an event, and, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, we fit in and, you know, we can actually meet people. Like, would you say this is a good event for, like, new people? Because sometimes there are bunches where it's like the same 10 people have been going there by themselves for the last, like, 10 years, and they don't really ever get new people, and it may not be a good event. But most of the time, they are meant to have new people at them, right? And they can say, oh, yeah, great, you know. And if you're giving the organizer a head up that they should expect new people, that's going to make their job easier and make sure that they are being on the lookout for new people. Because, like, frankly, it'll probably be obvious, because if you don't run in and go, oh, hey, so-and-so, it's good to see you again, and you just kind of stand around awkwardly, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this person's probably new here, right? So that is what I would do. Message the event organizers. Then when you're actually at the event, the overlap between the kink and nerd community is like almost a concentric circle. Like there are, is it Gen Con? It's either Dragon Con or Gen Con, one of those two. Literally there are people that organize BDSM orgies in hotel rooms at like nerd conventions, okay? So clearly there's an overlap in the population, at least somewhat so. Sorry, I'm going to do my eyeliner and my waterline real quick. I'm going to be quiet for a second so I don't stab myself in the eyeball. That's not my kink. Oh, we have a super chat. I'll get to that in a second. So after I answer this question. Oh goodness, this is a intense question. Okay, so I would really recommend if you're into any kind of nerd culture stuff, like if you like Marvel movies, Game of Thrones, The Witcher, Star Trek, fucking, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, whatever it is that you're into. You have a t-shirt for it, some pins, some kind of nerdy memorabilia clothing to wear it to the party. Like, or wear it to the event or the munch. Because then you've already built in, like, a conversation starter that's most likely going to start a conversation with somebody else that is, like, possibly also kind of introverted and more, like, on your wavelength, right? So wear stuff, have things that help facilitate conversation. Because at some munches I've been to, when new people are there, they literally have, like, questions built in, and there are people there that are volunteers that are just there literally to make sure new people feel welcome and, like, help them integrate into the space. But not all munches have that. So wearing something that'll help facilitate conversation is good. I also usually recommend going early to the party or to the event or to the munch or what have you, because things only get busier as the night goes on, and it'll usually be a lot easier for you to socialize when there's only, 10 people there instead of 30. And then don't feel like you have to spend the whole time, right? If you just go and you go for like 20 minutes, you get a soda, contribute to going to the event in some way, and you just nope out after that, that's fine. People understand. It can get overwhelming. You can always come back next time more informed, more prepared if you get overwhelmed or feel awkward. And definitely don't feel bad if you have to, like, take a step out, go to the bathroom for a little bit, and check your phone, relax, decompress for a second. Like, you have to remember, even for those of us that are extroverted in the world, which I don't know how y'all have even physically survived the last 2 years, but if you're still out there, even people that are very extroverted right now are very out of practice, usually with group socializing. And so I think that's also sort of to your advantage being a new person, because everyone else is also kind of new again in a way. All right, so now that I've done part one of my raccoon eye look, I promise it'll be more than this. I have a glitter palette, okay? All right, while I answer this question, select the glitter for me, chat. I got reds, I got pinks, purples, magentas, lilacs, I got golds, I got coppers, I got 3 different shades of red, I think, in here. I've got white, I got silver, I've got black, I got green. Let me know. What do you think I should go? I would like to do at least 2 colors of glitter. So you vote in the chat about what colors. Oh no! I should have done a poll. Oh, this is a bad idea. Okay, well, let me know what colors you guys think, and I will answer this question while I allow you to vote in the chat. Also, putting in color heart emojis for your vote is acceptable. You don't have to type it out. So Precious Pear, which I think is that a cinema roll emoji thing for the icon? I love it if so. My husband and I find out that my stepson is into puppy play with his girlfriend. He is 16. His girlfriend is 14. His mom wants me to talk to him about it. How do I go about it? Oh, I do not envy your position. I will say that. I'm not a parent. At least not yet. I don't know what the future holds for me as far as that's concerned. But I live in fear of finding out my minor teenager is secretly doing BDSM with their very young partner. I personally consider, like, 16, 17, if they're playing around with, a peer, I think that's fine. 14 is, like, that's pretty young. Like, that's like, concerningly young. And I know because I have a lot of people that comment on my videos that are, like, 12, 13, 14, and I'm like, no, honey, like, don't do this until you're an adult, please. Like, it's even pet play is more serious than people really give it. What the fuck is happening outside right now? There's, like, dogs screaming. Oh my god. So there is a book that is a little bit older. You can get it on Amazon still. It's called When Someone You Love Is Kinky. And I think it's mostly made for people that have adult children and adult family members and friends that come out as kinky to them, but there will still be helpful advice in there because it's written by somebody that is a very long time member of our community that I think really understands how to bridge that gap in conversation with people that are into kink versus not. But I think really the conversation you probably want to have is like, I don't know. I think different parents probably obviously have different philosophies about this, and I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Like, some parents, you know, with sex, for example, if you find out that they were having, like, vaginal intercourse and she's 14. Sorry, I'm asexual, so, like, that seems like a lot of no to me. Some parents are going to be very, like, just risk mitigation, right? Like, here's some condoms, here's a birth control prescription, let's get you sorted out, you know, and I don't want to know what you're doing, but don't talk to me about it, basically, but be safe when you are doing it. Other parents are going to, like, be more actively discouraging about it and be like, hey, you should wait till you're older to do this. Personally, when it comes to BDSM, I really think you should wait until you're older because especially when you're young, you don't really realize what intense stuff you are messing around with. You don't realize how intense BDSM is, especially when your brain is still forming, and most importantly, your prefrontal cortex right here, not fully formed until you're 25. What does that do? It helps you with long-term decision-making and impulse control and a bunch of other stuff. And so when you are like 10 years out from that part of your very important prefrontal cortex being developed, like you don't understand necessarily the long-term ramifications of engaging in behavior like this or understanding how risky it is. And when you're a teenager, like you literally feel like you're impervious and bad things won't happen to you because why would they? Because that's literally the developmental stage that teenage brains are in. And I think what I would say if I was approaching it, and again, I don't know what your personal parental philosophy is I would approach it as understanding and not shaming, but encouraging not further engaging in that behavior, right? Like not about like kink is bad or you doing kink is bad or you having these proclivities is negative anyway. Because I've dated people that started doing BDSM with their partners when they were in like high school, and they did really simple stuff. They were like they had a collar and leash. They did but very very light stuff, like not anything that would cause like grave bodily injury. Although you could probably injure somebody with a collar and a leash if they had a neck injury and you tugged really hard and it was by a staircase. But in any case, I would approach it like. There's nothing wrong with having interests in BDSM. It's all part of the normal spectrum of human experience. I don't think you're wrong for wanting to do this, but this is also very risky to do. I don't think you should be doing this necessarily before you're ready. But I'm definitely not a parent, so I don't know how to have that conversation because I've never had to talk to kids about not doing BDSM before. As someone who liked to play kitty when I was younger, I didn't see it as BDSM. I saw it as just playing around. So it could be a safer part of BDSM for young people depending on how they engage in it. Well, I think there's a difference. Between make-believe play when you're younger and like, I don't know how they found out about this. Maybe it is just like make-believe play they don't even realize is kink. Because like when I was in high school, I didn't really know what BDSM was. I didn't realize that people actually did it. And my boyfriend and I at the time bought each other dog collars because we were little freaky weirdo anime kids, like goth kids in high school. So we just did that because we were weird little anime goth alternative kids, and we didn't realize it had any sort of like sexual or BDSM kind of connotation to it. It was just like when you're in that stage of being really intensely into someone when you're that age, and you kind of almost want to possess them. You like them so much. Like, it was that kind of a thing. So I think there's that. And then there's, like, no, they have bondage equipment. Like, she has a butt plug tail. Like, stuff that is actually BDSM, right? Stuff that is not just, like, innocent playing around, but is, like, the only way you'd know how to buy this would be if you knew it was kink, right? Oh, the girlfriend 100% sees it as BDSM because we found her following BDSM smut accounts. Listen, this is why all of my accounts are 18+ only. I literally say it right here. because they have to remind people that often this is not for teenagers. This is not for minors. This is not for fucking 12-year-olds, okay? This is for consenting adults that are fully aware of the decisions they're making, you know? And they said they switch. Well, I mean, that means that, like, they both top and bottom. So sometimes that means, I don't know how much detail you want because this is your kid, but, like, just to explain what that means. That means that sometimes he's the one performing the actions and sometimes she's the one performing the actions. Neither that it really matters either way. I don't think her being the top would make this any better necessarily. I mean, she'd probably be at less physical risk for harm, but it's still mentally really intense to be playing around with at that age. This is a really complicated question. I'm almost wondering, like, where else could you ask this question to that you would get, like, a good answer. There is a Reddit that's called r/BDSM community. If you post on there, it is actually, from what I remember being on there, I haven't been on there in a couple months, but they are a really good group of people that do genuinely, like, give serious answers, and they have a broad spectrum of experiences. There's people that have been in the lifestyle for like 30 years that are on there that have their own kids as well that could maybe help you navigate this. Oh, I'm in a DS relationship, so I know about it. Haha. I just don't want to talk about. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't realize that you were also into BDSM. So that's, for all I know, you could have randomly found my live stream and be like, oh my God, somebody talking about BDSM. Help me with my kids. I don't know what to do. Okay, then you understand then, like, why it's important and why it's not something that a kid should be doing. I mean, I guess you don't know if she's doing DS or not, or if they're doing DS. I guess if they're switching, it could just be top bottom stuff, or it could be DS. Oh yeah, that's right. There's another YouTube channel called Loving BDSM, and they're a blended family. They have some older kids that I think are approaching teenage years, and they talk about like parenting and BDSM a lot. And they also do live streams, but I'm not sure what day. But I would maybe ask them. I'm assuming you kind of need more immediate help yeah. Oh, in case he's also your stepson as well. So I don't know how that affects your relationship at all. If he feels like you're his mom, or if it's like, you're not my real mom, you can't tell me what to do. That could also be part of it as well. Yeah, again, I think what I said before applies still, which is like, you don't have to tell him that you're in a DS relationship if he doesn't know that. But like, hey, I understand. Like, it's perfectly normal to have these interests and to want to explore them. But, you know, it is still really intense and it can affect you in a lot of ways. I want to make sure you're doing what's best for both of you and your long-term health and welfare. And this is why I don't think you should do this at this age, right? Because like, it can, affect your mental development. It can be really intense and really scary in ways that maybe we don't fully understand. It can be really risky. There could be like medical health issues. They could get really hurt. Playing around with areas of murky consent when you're barely a teenager and you don't even really know how to have an actual relationship yet, let alone one that is like playing at non-consent potentially, is, the horniness of teenagers and the things they do as a result is astounding. Anyways, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comments, and if we get some good advice, I will read it out loud. I am going to try and gauge what the votes are for, I'm seeing a lot of purple and lilac. Purple, green and copper. That could be a good like Christmas look. Green, gold, purple and black, purple. Okay, literally almost all the votes are for the purple. So okay, I think we've got a clear winner here. Thanks guys. It's a weird situation I never thought I'd be in. LMAO. Thanks Evie. Yeah, for sure. I am definitely here to help, and I don't envy your position, and if we can help a little bit, at least making you less nervous going into that conversation, because I don't think there's a way to have this conversation be perfect. It's just like being mentally prepared for it, I think, more than anything else, and being prepared that, like, I think unfortunately one of the most likely outcomes is they don't listen to you and they keep doing it behind your back and then just hide it, and you hopefully want to avoid that situation. But like, again, that's like teenagers, the same thing they do with regular sex, right? Just because you think they're not doing it doesn't mean they aren't. But when they're out there following BDSM accounts at 14 on their public, like, even on that front, I know you're not talking to her, but I feel like as a parent, you should know this. it is very dangerous for somebody that is a minor to be following adult BDSM accounts, because that is a direct fucking trail for a predator to follow, to be like, great, I found someone that maybe is a little bit not all together or wants something a little bit unusual, and I can use DS or BDSM language to coerce a 14-year-old to send me nude pictures or to be in a relationship with me when they don't even know me online, because I can offer them something they can't get in real life that they really, really want. And so it is unfortunately a way that a lot of predators find younger people, is through a public profile following on like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that business. So sad, sad stuff. Also, if you speak about it like matter of fact and say what you mean while not being overly controlling or shaming, will help them be more open and talk to you about it. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to somewhat depend on like you already having a relationship of openness and honesty, because I don't think you can go into this and like, if you're not open and honest already, like I don't think you can suddenly get that out of this with one conversation. All right, I'm gonna put on my eyeliner. No, should I put on? Oh, okay. This is confusing because I don't know how else to do it except for this way. Eyeliner and then glitter and then touch up eyeliner, I think. So. I don't know if that super chat went with a question, but thank you for the super chat while I do my eyeliner. Can you really see my eyeliner? Kind of. I do like having it though. I pretty much never do eye makeup looks without a wing. But the complicated part is making them even. Doesn't that look so much better now? Don't we look professional? Okay, the other thing you guys are going to have to vote on is my eyelashes I'm wearing today. I think I messed up. Oh, God. Eyeliner. Eyeliner, it stabbed me. Oh, I don't have, sorry, give me a second. I gotta get something else again. Hello, girl. What are you doing? Hi. You want to say hello to the people really quickly? Do you guys want to see my dog? Do you guys want to see my dog? I have to introduce her to everyone. Okay. Hi, honey. I know you've been so snuggling on that bed. Hi. Woo. This is my dog. She's sleepy girl. Hi, sleepy girl. What are you doing? She's wagging her tail. Well, she was. Hi, honey. Yeah, you good girl. Hi. Good girl. All right, I'm going to set you back down now. All right. That's Bandit. She's a Pomeranian. Now you know. Okay, so I had to grab a little bit of paper to correct my mistake. All right, what question do we have next? Yes, it does. It is... Oh, I guess you guys could see it from that far away, huh? Oh, my chair's in the way. Yeah. Ta-da. So question from Jolie. What do you suggest for kinky couples who are trying to get pregnant, finding a mix between spontaneous sex and having sex during the time needed to conceive? Thank you. So I have never tried to conceive. So I know a bit about this because I follow Hannah, what's her last name? Witten. And I know she's recently been on a conception journey, and they finally have succeeded at it. I don't think she's personally kinky, but she does watch my channel. We watch each other. Isn't that cool? Anyways, okay, so I know a bit about it from that, and from what I understand, it's sort of like, if it's better to have like fulfilling good sex frequently than it is like perfectly timing it all the time, because there is a window, right? Like, depends on when you ovulate and all that, but you have a window of at least 3 to 5 days for like maximum conception efficiency. But I think Hannah even conceived outside of her typical ovulation window on a day where they had an accidental withdrawal. So like, you know, the science of it isn't exact, is what I would say, if you're worried about like wasting a load on a non-ideal day for a sperm and egg meeting up, you know. Like, I think as long as you're hitting your daily targets, or what your monthly targets for what days you should be having sex, I think making sure you have room for spontaneous sex outside of that's probably good. And not even like, you know, I think you gotta like have room for that spontaneity too. So like, hey, maybe 1 month doesn't work out, like maybe the next month you just wing it and have fun and use that as a month to reconnect with your relationship, and not like worry so much about you know, having the perfect sex at the exact right time. But also, like, kink doesn't have to be sexual either. You don't have to have sex when you do BDSM. So actually doing non-sexual BDSM may actually be a good way to emotionally reconnect with your partner, even when you're not trying to have sex when you do kinky stuff. Because if you really struggle with infertility, and like you're struggling with, you've been doing this maybe for a couple months, everyone else around you's getting pregnant, you've been trying for a long time, you know, it's stressing you out a lot. Doing BDSM can be a way to de-stress and reconnect with a relationship, so you do want to have sex on the days that you need to, air quotes. Alright, I think my eyeliner, I'm gonna wear big eyelashes, so these are like, this is vaguely similar enough, I feel like. Alright, that feels good. That feels alright. Okay, next question. Precious Pear added, my husband and I did it every day. LOL, you guys only having sex to get pregnant? Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own sex drive, right? So like, I don't want to say, oh, well, this is bad and this isn't. Like, some people have sex like 4 times a day. Some people have it 3 times a month, you know. It's all in the span of possibilities. Okay, so we have a super chat from Andrew. So I know sex isn't a big deal, but I've never had it, and I've accidentally built it up too much in my brain, and I don't really know how to not make it this kind of scary thing anymore. Makes sense. Yes. So I didn't have that generally with sex, but I did have that specifically with vaginal sex, because as a woman, the idea of getting accidentally pregnant by somebody that I don't really know that well, and I'm not in love with, I'm not in a committed relationship with, sounds terrifying and scary. And so I have put off having vaginal sex for a very, very long time as a result, even though I do and have had other kinds of sex before that. And the one thing that really helped me, I think, because I used to be like really almost militant about it, I guess I would say, where I was like really, really like, oh, I need to wait until I find the perfect person and the moment is right. And then, you know, now that I'm in my like mid-20s, I decided, from having a lot of friends that have had sex around me, lots of friends that are in like long-term committed relationships that have sex regularly, I sort of decided, well, like the only reason this has to be a big deal is because I've decided it's a big deal, and it's okay to value it. It's okay to not want to have random sex with people. It's okay to want to wait until the moment is right. And I just kind of decided, well, I'm not going to wait for somebody who's perfect. I'm going to wait until the like desire is there and I want to do it. And it's not something I'm doing to like keep a relationship or to make someone else happy. And I feel like holding on to that as like a goal was much simpler than like the first time I have to have sex has to be this like amazing, crazy experience. It just, I wanted it, the thing I really valued when I thought about it was I wanted it to be with somebody that I trusted. If something went wrong, if there was like an STI scare, pregnancy scare, that I knew that it would be taken care of and that I internally wanted to do it and didn't feel like I had to do it to maintain the relationship. So when I realized that was what made me value it so much and why I have like been very restrictive with the people that I have had any kind of sexual contact with, for that matter, that helped me not think of it as like this super highly valuable thing, but as like I just have like these considerations I need to meet before I want to have sex with someone. So I think if you can kind of dig down into why you've built it up to be a big thing in your head and then break that down into more manageable pieces, like, oh, I want to hold off on like I don't know, actually I should say I don't know if you haven't had sex because you've held off for the right person or because you haven't had the opportunity or what. So regardless of the reason, I would say if you can just dig down into sort of why it's been built up as a big idea, like you expect it to be this really physically amazing thing, you want to be in love when it happens, whatever, like break it down into more manageable pieces that you can have reasonable expectations around versus like this all-consuming, like this has to be this perfect romantic flowers and chocolates, Valentine's Day, being in love kind of a scenario. Yeah, ultimately is when you feel comfortable. Yeah, exactly. I think that's really the simplest thing is doing it when you're comfortable with it and not when you're not. And a lot of people, unfortunately, especially when they're having sex when they're younger, I don't want to paint anyone with a broad brush, but a lot of people, I wouldn't say they regret having sex when they're younger, but a lot of times there is that element of peer pressure that happens where you choose to have sex younger than maybe you think would be ideal for you because you're like, oh, well, but he says if I love him, I have to do this. Or if I want to keep my girlfriend, I have to do this with her. Like, I actually knew somebody that was asexual when I was in high school, the first ace person I ever knew. And we actually were together for a while. We dated for like 6 months. And then we broke up for some reason. But there was another girl he started dating again after we broke up. And I think he had dated her before. And then they got back together. And then he was like pressured to having sex with her when their relationship restarted. And like we were still talking to each other. And he told me about how it felt for him. And like, I wouldn't have used this language at the time. And I wouldn't say this to his face. But like, the way he described it kind of sounded like rape. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I have to do this because she like expects me to perform. And like, that's horrible. Like, what? No. Like, awful. It's just absolutely, absolutely awful stuff. Yeah, desire over perfection makes so much sense. Exactly. It's about, you got to break down, again, why is it you want to have this thing and why is it a big deal to you? And how can you make those expectations more manageable and reasonable in reality? I have a hard time having sex from chronic pain, so we're trying to find ways to spend little time as we can having sex, enjoying it, and trying to get pregnant. Well, I think that sounds like, I don't know if anyone here in the chat, I don't see the usual names here that I know have chronic pain issues that do BDSM. But I know a lot of people that watch me and are in this audience definitely have chronic pain issues that do BDSM and find it very fulfilling and enjoyable and a really good alternative to other sorts of things that maybe activate their chronic pain, or it helps them process pain a different way, or they like having the control over the pain they normally don't get to. You don't have to do pain at all, actually, for that matter, to do BDSM. But I think looking at kink as a good alternative to intimacy to maintain that bonding and connection in the relationship when you're under a lot of pressure to conceive, I think is a smart idea. What is happening? Okay, I gotta get my glitter primer. I thought I grabbed everything and my desk is covered in stuff and I just kept forgetting stuff. Okay, so I gotta grab my my primer for this. So I have a bunch of, I think I'm just going to do all the purples. So I have, this is like a lilac-y one, and this is like a royal purple, and this is like kind of a pinky purple. Should I just do a mix of all three of them? I think I'm kind of doing a mix of all three of them. It's kind of like where I'm at right now with maybe a little bit of like silver or black. All right. gonna get eyeshadow primer. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get the toy. Get your toy. Yeah? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah? Hi. Can I take this? Oh, there it goes. All right, primer time. This is the Too Faced glitter glue. I literally bought this probably 4 years ago, and it still works, so we're still using it. And is it a good idea to layer on so many primers together? Probably not. And the reason why I wear glitter for parties and not for filming is because when you're in a dark party, a nicely blended eyeshadow look doesn't really stand out. So you gotta glitter it up, basically. All right, let's see. Next question. Okay, I'm actually going to put on my glitter first because I don't immediately see question. How are we feeling about this so far? All right, that's one layer of glitter. Glitter layer 2. Do you guys think I'll be able to attract a real BDSM master with this glittery eyeshadow look, or will he be intimidated by how glittery my eyes are? Will the look scare him away? I don't know. I want to go to a BDSM party for newbies, but I need to get vaccinated. But I don't really need it. Should I go get it so I can go in person? Yeah. I think if you're not getting vaccinated for literally any other reason, if you want to socially interact with other human beings, that feels like a good reason to me. Because literally, in order to go to a party here, you have to be vaccinated. So, sorry if you don't think you personally need it. But the rules say you do. And I'm putting on a little bit of the darker glitter right now. Just to fill in. It makes you wonder why I put on black primer underneath this. But, you know. It helps add a little bit of depth in there. Oh, don't get in my eyeballs, glitter. Alright. Actually, you know what? I could have done like maybe a shimmery base underneath this and really just made it go. Psh. Anyways, here you guys go. There's the layers of glitter on my eyeballs. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for like 90s goth, grunge, just general alternativeness. I feel like, look, I have less, maybe, let me check. Yeah, I feel like I have less glitter on this eye somehow. I don't know how I managed to do that. We can't have uneven glitter on our eyes now. It's very unbecoming. Okay, wow, it's almost 7:30. Okay. Next thing you're going to have to vote on, my dear audience, is eyelashes. So these are from Prada's Beauty. They are a wonderful indigenous owned eyelash company. I don't think these are, I can't remember. I bought these last year for Black Friday, so I don't remember. I haven't worn these yet. So I'm going to try and get option 1 and option 2 here, top and bottom. I don't even know if they really look that different. How do I do this? I am such a genius. I didn't get a chance to paint my fingernails either, but TBH, I don't care. They don't really look that different, actually. But this one's like a fuller lash, and this one's like more wispy. So you guys think top or bottom? No booster requirements yet. No, just the regular 2 shots. How have you been able to find BDSM dungeon parties? Yeah, FetLife local events. Like, I know it seems really cliche, but like FetLife is the place to go to find events still. I know some people do things on Facebook, I think. Okay. I think I'm seeing mostly top. So I think we're going to go with top. LOL. I just realized I had you guys vote top and bottom. Haha, it's a little BDSM pun. You guys didn't even know you were participating in that. Oh, I didn't even put on like mascara yet. Which they're really hard to see. I need to put on mascara first. The good thing about crimping your hair is you do it really wildly and without any self-control. So it doesn't really matter if I do it in a rush. I've literally had Depeche Mode stuck in my head all day for the last 2 days. I was listening to like a greatest hits mix that I have, and literally right now is I have Strange Love stuck in my head. I listen to all their songs, and I like 70% of Depeche Mode songs are kinky. You cannot change my mind on that. I'm probably gonna listen to Depeche Mode on the car ride on the way there. Not gonna lie. Are there switch eyelashes? I think there are. Those are like when you get the individual lashes that you have to individually glue on. And then I'm going over my eyeliner again because I want a really clear runway to apply my eyelashes to. Alright, so I have tiny little eyes, so I have to trim these lashes like 1,000%. Okay. There's going to be like half an eyelash here when I'm done. Okay, so this is the right side. Thank you for the follow, Tana TV. I also stream on Twitch, by the way, if you guys didn't know. I think I'm going to trim... I'm going to start with at least this inner part here. See how that goes. I normally use lashes that have like an invisible band on them. These ones have kind of chunky bands, so we'll see how that goes. But we are going to be an extra clean today. That is the law. My partner loves Depeche Mode, and every time he listens to them around me, I'm like, how is this not about BDSM? Exactly. That is the case. I'm actually surprised. Like, Depeche Mode doesn't get a lot of playtime at BDSM clubs, and they really should. They really, really should. I think if you wear magnetic lashes, that probably makes you like a femdom, I think. I do not wear false bottom lashes. I know people do really cute looks with them when they makes their eyes look a lot bigger, but like I have a time limit for how much I'm willing to spend on doing my makeup. And that doesn't include doing bottom eyelashes and making sure they're placed properly. Depeche Mode is kinky as well as Blutengale. Oh, of course I know Blutengale. I don't actually know if I'm pronouncing their name correctly because I've never heard anyone say it out loud before. Didn't they recently come out with some new music again? That was like, they're so old now. They've been using it for so long. It's crazy. All right, let me see if I can find a question to answer. Okay, I feel like something about pet regression happened. And I need to find it. Oh. Okay, so this is from Eon. Evie, do you have any resources as someone wanting to try out pet play but has literally no idea where to start? I've become super attached to the headspace regression aspect, but I feel a little lost. So, you are literally in the right place. I have several videos where I talk about pet play. A lot of them are older because I kind of feel like I said what I wanted to say about pet play. But I would start with my videos. Also, if you check out Pup Amp on What's the Safe Word, which is another YouTube channel, they also have videos talking about pet play. But that is where I would start. I literally fucking remember when pet regression was invented on a term on Instagram like 3 years ago. It is because people wanted to associate it with age regression as a way to legitimize it as a safe for work, not even kink, as like a, oh, well, it's just regression. I'm doing it for my mental health. You can't tell me not to do it in public because it's for my mental health. It's not BDSM. Okay, then tell me why you use all the same terminology as BDSM and do all the same things as people do when they do it in BDSM, because that doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, my 2 cents. So if you're hearing somebody saying pet regression, you literally cannot regress to being a pet because you were never a pet. I will die on this hill. This is literally a term invented by minors on Instagram, so that way they could force themselves to be part of BDSM conversations because, well, it's not actually BDSM, it's just pet regression. I'm doing it because it helps with my anxiety. And it's like, could you, like, find something that's not BDSM that helps with your anxiety when you're 14? Like, maybe get an actual therapist? Like, I don't know, get it, literally any other coping mechanism that's not doing a BDSM activity would be preferable, I feel like. So it's not, if somebody's saying regression, just know that they don't know what they're talking about. It's not a thing. And at least with age regression, there is some kind of, like, psychological background to that, like, as a term. But pet regression was literally astroturfed. It was literally a made-up word, so that way people who are minors could justify doing BDSM things on Instagram. I was there when it happened. I am like Aslan or whatever, the lion from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Okay, he was there when the rules were written. I was there when the rules were written. Okay, that's how old I am. I used to know all the fucking shit about pet play on Instagram. That used to be the thing before TikTok. All the drama was on Instagram. That was where you went for all of your drama needs. All right, I gotta like curl up my lashes a little bit, but I'm letting the glue dry first. Are we fabulous yet? Evie, do you find playing with different genders affects the energy of your play? I started tying a man recently, and it's very different energy and honestly making me confused about my sexuality. Yes, I definitely feel that. Both topping men feels different from bottoming to men. Topping women feels different from bottoming to women, which feels different from bottoming to men. Like, it all feels very different because I think, like, different gendered experiences make your play different. I don't know how else to say it besides that. There's very different energy when I like bottom to rope for a man versus like bottom rope with a woman. It's totally a thing. And I think the fun thing about kink is, even if you might play with somebody that isn't like a gender you're attracted to sexually, like, I think there is something about kink, maybe with like sensual attraction, where you might be attracted to other genders because of what you can do with them in BDSM that you can't necessarily have with people of other genders, you know. So totally a thing. Okay, I'm gonna plug in my, what is this called? A crimp iron. And this time we're not gonna eat the plastic. Okay, we're not gonna eat plastic today. Okay, Sarah, Sarah, once again, third time today on the live stream. FetLife.com. That's how you're going to find events. It's all the events are on FetLife, I promise, or almost all of them at least. If they're not on FetLife, they're usually pretty suspicious, TBH. Oh, how do I do this? I don't have an alternative plan. I don't have enough outlets on this outlet. I gotta get up for a second. Hi, dogs. What are we doing? Oh, I know. I'm gonna be leaving soon, but you guys are gonna be okay. All right. Cool. Now, do not eat that cord. Don't trip on it. Don't do anything with it, dogs. All right. I'm waiting for that to heat up. Oh, I need to lift my lashes. That's what I need to do. Oh, these lashes actually feel really nice. They're not like too crazy. I like that they don't actually cover too much of my lid, so you can actually see the glitter. Excellent. I think I may have placed this one in farther. Yeah, I totally placed this one in a little bit farther than the other eye, but I'm going to a dungeon where it's going to be dark and people won't tell, so not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, I think bondage is a great event to start with for sure. Pet play and BDSM are not always sexual, but still involve power exchange and altered headspace, so not safe for minors. Internet communities for such are also not appropriate for minors. Yes, exactly. Particularly for the previous reason I discussed earlier, which is talking about BDSM online and following BDSM accounts as a minor is a really good way to basically give a giant flag to predators to say, hey, young person over here that wants something non-conventional that may be willing to say yes to things to get the things they want done to them. Like, hey, I'm over here. I am possibly, I don't know. People are just really fucked up sometimes, TBH. Oh, so one last thing I have here is I have gloss, which I'm not going to wear because I am going to wear a mask, obviously, to this shindig. But I do want to show it to you guys because it's black lip gloss. I found lots of black liquid lipsticks, but black lip gloss. Let's look at this. I mean, if I wasn't wearing a mask, okay? What could be more 90s than a black lip gloss? Doesn't it look so good? Look at that. Fabulous. Shindig is a word I haven't heard in a while. It's one of those ones where it's like you don't say it and then it just sneaks up on you. So, other lip gloss I have, opposite side of the spectrum, is just like a nude glitter. I would love it if I could get like a purple glitter lip gloss. That would be everything. Like this kind of thing where it's like, well, this actually might have purple reflex in it now that I think about it. But like this with like purple in it. You know, anyways. Again, not wearing purple lip gloss or any color of lip gloss because I'm going to be wearing a mask. But I do want to show you guys because why not? I'm going to have to get like an actual makeup wipe to take this off probably. It definitely feels a little bit sticky. I definitely notice you have lip gloss on. It's not like an invisible lip gloss or like a lip oil. But they feel really high quality. I think I got these for like $9 or $10 each or something. They weren't too expensive. Now my lips look a little bit gray, but I'm fine with that. How do you ease back into a DS dynamic when you have been taking a break? Great question. We're having all sorts of fun conversations today. Okay, I'm gonna get my hairbrush and then I'll answer that question. My desk is just covered in stuff. Oh my god. I'm not used to this chaos and mess. I like things that are tidy. So, how do you ease back into a relationship or a DS relationship after you've taken a break for a while? That I think is something a lot of people are going through because of COVID. Like either they put their DS on hold or they're getting into a new DS relationship again for the first time and it's been a while. So I think that is, again, a very common experience for a lot of people, which is good, which means you're not alone. I think you have to not, I think you have to reevaluate where you are at right now and like not try to go back to exactly what you did before. I think this is the mistake people make is they're like, okay, we're just going to start doing all the same stuff we did last time and it's going to be fine. It's going to work great. And it usually doesn't work great because there's a reason why you had to take a break in the first place, right? So I guess number one, figure out why you had to take a break in the first place. Aw, honey, I'm going to hit you with this cord if you don't move. I know, I'm so sorry, honey. Hi, here go, baby. I love you, sweetie. Hi. Hi. You are the doggy love of my life. What are you doing? You look so snuggly. Are you going to be okay that I'm going to be gone for a couple hours, huh? Are you going to be okay? I feel so bad because the dogs don't know I'm leaving and they're like, hi, we see you. Oh my gosh, human. And I'm like, I'm going to be gone for 4 hours. You guys going to be able to cope? I don't think so. So yeah, I think you have to evaluate, okay, one, why did you take a break in the first place? Was it because you got really overwhelmed? Was it because of COVID? Was it because it felt like it was taking over your whole life and you like weren't okay with that? Like, why did the break happen and how can you prevent a break from happening again? If you found really burnt out by like one thing or you felt like a certain need wasn't getting met, then prioritize having the things that feel the most fulfilling to you back in. And actually, if you can think about what is it I missed the most from this? Like, okay, you may decide there are things you don't miss at all and you don't necessarily want to bring it back. But you may also discover that even when you were taking a break, you were thinking a lot about like, oh, I used to really miss, you know, getting to make him his coffee in the morning, or I really missed being able to use this title. Like the things that you found the most fulfilling, those are what you should add in first, I feel like. I never got to crimp my hair in the 90s because I was a wee child that did not know how to do their own hair. So this is me living, I don't care about Y2K. Put me in like 1993, please. That would be great. If I could just live for most of the 90s, like, but then I'd have to be a child in the 80s, and I don't think I'd like being a child in the 80s. Just teleport me only to the 90s. You know, that would be good. And then just like don't put pressure on yourself. See, because I also don't know. Did you take a BDSM break in general or just DS? Because I think those are different things where you are. I should have had a different hair clip for this, but if you are coming back to BDSM, like all of BDSM or just DS, that's like different things. Because if it's just, oh, we've been doing BDSM, but we're adding the DS back in, That's, I think, less of an adjustment than, like, we haven't done anything kinky at all in, like, over a year. I forget how wide this is. I overestimate how much hair it can actually do at once. I love crimping my hair because it takes so much time than literally everything else, more or less. Just like, I don't have to do anything with my hair beforehand. I literally just let it air dry. I maybe put in some like volumizing product in it, and that's like pretty much it. In general, because we have a baby now, it was overwhelming. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. I know a lot of people end up in that position of like, I mean, when you have a kid, everything changes. That's what everyone says. And you have to kind of put the rest of your life on hold for a bit where you're like, hey, we have to like help this like infant human survive. We don't really have time for like protocol right now. Some people manage to do it where they keep the DS going like the whole time, and I don't know how they do it. I don't think I could do it. And I love BDSM. It's literally my job. I don't think I could have an infant and be like, okay, I have time to make your dinner and kneel for you every morning while an infant is screaming in the room next to me. Like, probably not going to happen. So yeah, I just think take it really slow. Bring back in what you found the most fulfilling. Like, maybe don't even really think about doing DS at first. Maybe just do like some light BDSM play, whatever it is you've really been missing the most that you've found really connecting, whether that be like spanking, flogging, a hot oil massage, boot worship, like something that you can make a light, like quick scene out of that you know like you're going to enjoy. And you can do it in a small amount of time if you're like worried about like kids and things like that. You know, walking in on you or finding something. Because I think as well, like thinking from the top's perspective of like being out of practice, if you're trying to get into doing a scene, because I think actually doing smaller scenes is a good way to sort of find the energy again and find your like dom side, find your submissive side, and reconnect with that without having a lot of like pressure to do it correctly right away, or remembering how to use a flogger or a whip or like something really complicated. All right, that is, I think I'm just going to leave my bangs straight and just have the rest of it be crimped. Because I've tried crimping my bangs before and it never looks good. It never looks good. What if I just did it half crimped? That would be a look, right? That would be the talk of the town. Wait, how do I... It's hard to do this not in front of my own... I'm trying to do this in the viewfinder for OBS for some reason. That seems like a bad plan. I don't know what to do with this little piece of hair. Because I've been growing it out, and I feel like it looks weird now. Because it used to be the same length as my bangs on the other side, and now it's all grown out. I don't know what to do with it. It's a little bit of a wild child. As a 90s kid, my high school math teacher once told me, you should all be grateful you got to skip the 80s. They were terrible. I mean, I feel like height of the goth scene, but personally, I prefer 90s goth stuff over 80s. I know, so controversial, but I'm not a fucking death rocker, so I don't care. Oh no, you mean I don't get to fucking see Christian death? Oh god, whatever will I lose? Oh no. Just joined. You look so good. Thank you. I'm just doing my hair by crimping it, which you can literally see the smoke coming off. So I'm not sure that's a good sign for my hair health, but it is happening. It's an extended love curl. Is that what they're called? Love curls? I had no idea that was a word, but thank you. Morticia Adams after the hair. Thank you. I love Morticia. She is fantastic. And Gomez and her are relationship goals. You know what? They have a family and they still find time for passionate love and romance. And Isn't that what we all want? That's what my asexual romantic ass wants. That's all I want, really. It's not that different than anyone else. Is it Adam's Family Values is the one where fucking, oh my god, I'm completely, is that the one where they go to camp and they have to go to camp with all the preppy kids and they do the Thanksgiving play during summer? That's what I want. That's my favorite Adam's Family movie. I don't care if someone asks you what iron you're using. It's crimping so fast. This is the Bedhead TIGI. I got this on sale at Ulta. It's really cheap. It's not, it's like, it's the cheapest hair tool I own. I think I got it for like maybe under $20. I don't think I owned one other crimping iron, I think, before this, and it broke. I don't remember what it was. I think I got it used. It wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. I don't break this out enough, honestly. I'm just worried about wearing it for videos because I feel like it looks messy. I don't know how it would look on camera. But yeah, I love this. It crimps everything so fast. I did turn it up. It's at like medium heat right now, so that could be part of it. My hair is also really thin, and I don't know if different hair types would crimp more slowly. Because I have a hard time holding curls in my hair, like curling irons just do not work on me. But crimping works really well, and like Bedhead also makes a wave iron that I use sometimes instead of this, and that also works really well. All right, the love curl has been crimped. It is now a love crimp, despite my better judgment of not doing my hair that way. I need to crimp the roots on this side. Okay, guys, I literally have time for one more question, and then I gotta jet out of here. So, one more question. Who will it be? Only time will tell. Oh, does somebody have a question about haircutting fetish? I was with someone for a while. They didn't have a haircutting fetish, but they enjoyed cutting hair in a way that was not fetishistic, but was possibly sexual in nature. And they did cut off all my hair once. Not all of it, but they cut it to like ear length. Have fun with Tony Stark. Thank you. Looks early 2000s. Exactly. That's the vibe. That's what I love. I'm going to confuse everybody about what decade they're in. Listen, if I could host any BDSM party, I have a plan for this. If this ever ends up happening, this is my OC. Don't steal my idea. I feel like this is also a 90s hairspray. This Tresemme hairspray in this giant fucking bottle. At least I remember my mom owning it back then. I don't know. I would want to have a party, and I would call it Dirk Delights, and it would be a goth EBM industrial night combined with BDSM. That would be what I would want. I will be taking no further questions about that at this time. Just that's what it would be. But at least this one doesn't, you know, have a hole in the ozone layer. Like, you know, we were dealing with back then. My hair will definitely fall flat in like 5 seconds after this, but honking outside, they don't approve of my look. They say, no! Vile witch, how dare you. Anyways, that's my look. I have a purple glitter mask I'm going to wear with this now that I know I have purple glitter on. Any advice as to how someone could go about incorporating a hair cutting fetish into their relationship / sex life? Human hair wigs. That's what I would look at. Human hair wigs. All right. Final look, everyone. Oh, I have boots I'm going to wear, but anyways. Here you guys go. This is the look. With my Christmas lights in the background, as is traditional. Now you guys know. This is what you wear to a BDSM party. This is what I wear to a BDSM party. And I'm always the most dressed up out of everyone. So don't... if you don't dress to this level with 3 shades of purple glitter on your eyes. Don't feel bad about it. All right, guys, that is everything for tonight. I wish I could stay longer, but I literally have a party I'm going to. If you guys want to make sure to not miss out on my other live streams, I do live stream every Friday starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I usually go for about 2 hours or so. So make sure you subscribe, put on that bell notification so you get notified every single time I live stream. We do streams like this sometimes. Sometimes it's just a general Q&A. Sometimes we play like Christmas video games and solve puzzles. I literally got a puzzle in the mail today. Okay, so we're gonna do a puzzle. Okay, it's gonna be a very fun, relaxing, ASMR probably fuel time of doing puzzles. All right, again, thank you guys so much for being here. It was so wonderful to meet you all, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Bye.